unfailing love, stronger than mountains.
Well, a pleasant good morning and welcome to the CCG Hour. It's a great day to be alive. You know by now that's my password. I hope that you have had a great week so far and that you are doing well, you and your family and so forth. We have already great day, great program ahead, and so I don't want to even talk much. I know sometimes I interfere with my guests. Yes, actually we'll be interfering with her today. Good morning. I have a friend with me, and that is really a friend in truth. Hilary Lawrence from the Business Support Center. She, of course, will talk a little bit about that, but she's here today because we're talking money today. Good morning, Hilary.
Good morning. Good morning to the audience. And it's my pleasure to be here this morning.
I'm glad that you are here.
Thank you for the
and
invite.
I didn't have to beg you.
No.
Sometimes I have to find guests. It's like, oh Lord, but because this is right up your alley, we're talking money.
Yes.
Yeah. We're talking money.
Yeah. But money is always a big topic for everybody. Yeah.
Is it because we want a lot of it and don't have it, or that we just don't know what to do with it when we have it?
But I will start with this. The mindset is the key.
Okay.
What is the mindset of people when you have money or when you do not have money?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So you look like if you're reaching your element already.
No.
I'm
I'm just letting, as you ask the question,
Yeah.
I'm just setting the pace.
Right.
Because many of times we don't think about that.
Right.
We just know that we want money. Yeah. How we get the money is the other thing.
Oh boy.
But what is the mindset of you getting that money?
Okay.
Even when you get that money, what is your mindset? What do you do with it?
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about all of that today.
We're talking about some of that. It's quite a lot. We won't be able to reach all of it.
The good thing is this program is every Friday.
Yes.
So once you are available, to have your own business and to be being mom and every other thing that you have to do, I know how busy you can be. I know how it is. Yes. But I'm really grateful that you can come. So right off the bat, let's just tell the people a little bit about you and your business and what it is that you all do, and then let's get right into what they would really like to hear about money.
All right, so I am, as Ms. Ruffin said, I am Hilary Lawrence, mother of one, a wife of one. All right, I'm the owner and operator of the Business Support Center. We are on Bruce Street, opposite the Bruce Street Mall. That's near the tunnel for the people who don't know the town's street name. It's right there. And there's a big sign, you can't miss it. And what we do at the Business Support Center, I would always like to sum it up with one word. We are transformational advisors. So the word might be big, but we know what transforming means, that you're not the same, that you're converting. So what we really do, we try to help people, again, the mindset through training. So we'll help you get some training. Maybe you're in your job and you're not happy, you want to move on, or there's an opportunity in your job place and you need to be trained to upscale to get to the position. Again, going back to money, so you can get more money, right? So if you are not better, how would you get that money? So we do training.
So professional development.
Professional development for you in different skill areas like business, accounting, and we even do some workshops like customer service, professional behavior, right? And even mindset, money mindset and different mindset programs. We also support businesses in the area of bookkeeping or accounting.
Okay.
Right? So if you do not have an in-house accountant, we will do your accounting for you.
Okay.
If you want to go to the bank to get a loan or some kind of facility and you have your books and basically some people bring their documents in a shoebox. That is just receipts and so on, because you don't have a system. We will take that system and transform it into a report so that you can take it to the bank.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting. Yes. Well, I didn't even know that you do that.
Yes.
Or that is how you did it. I mean, I know you do accounting for people, but I didn't understand, how exactly that
so
was
we'll take it from it could be a one-man operation where, as again, you don't have anybody to help you.
Right.
But you need some support, so you come to us and you say, hey, I need this done. and we would help you.
Okay.
Or you may have a system running and the persons there may be just bookkeepers and they don't know all the elements.
Right.
So we would take that and also help you.
Okay, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so but let's just go back just a little bit to well, just how you use the example of someone coming in with a shoebox and just receipts.
Yes.
So, and I mean, I suppose we will talk about that even more when we get, well,
Yes.
based on where we go with the money thing. But in terms of you doing, like that accounting for people, and you said like if someone goes in or needs a facility, let's say a loan or so
Yes.
at the bank, how will those having those receipts and whatever from a small business perspective, how will having the receipts and so forth, how will that help you with the bank?
Right. So obviously when you go to the bank wants to make sure that you have a business, of course. It's not just the name, but they want to make sure you're doing stuff,
That you're
right?
doing business.
You're
Okay.
doing business. How would you know that? You need to bring your source documents, would be your sales receipt
Right.
that you get from vendors when you purchase stuff.
Right.
Or your invoice. Some people use invoice books still, even
Yes.
in this day and age and
Yeah.
technology. So
Yeah.
people use that. So we'll have to take those and compile it.
Right.
Yeah, and create a 1, 2 or 2 page report so that the bank would have an idea as to what is going on in the business. Because nobody in the bank can have time to
No,
sit
they're
down
not going to do that.
and put together your document for you, right? But we would help you with that if you need that.
Okay.
support.
And then, maybe I should leave that next question maybe for a little later on when we begin to look at like how you as an individual can begin to account for.
Right.
Okay, so what I was
That's
going to
right.
ask, I'll hold on a little bit.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So as it relates to the professional development and so that you offer to businesses, is it small businesses alone or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. We can do it by a group. So if you have a large organization and you think your team needs to be trained professionally or you need some customer service support or team building, we would arrange with you for your
Right.
team. Some people don't have enough persons on their staff to make an entire group.
Right.
So we sometimes offer it publicly. So we offer other small businesses. So
Right.
we form a group together.
Right. And it
then
just
we
get all these people
yes,
in one
yes.
training room. Okay. All right. That certainly
Yeah.
makes sense.
So for the people who probably heard the name Business Support Center, one of the larger things that we did over the past years was something called leadership. LeaderCast, sorry. LeaderCast is an international seminar where we have, it's really based in the US, but what we did, we streamed the participants.
Okay.
Yeah, we had people on like Tyler Perry, and some of the big guys
The names.
speaking. Yeah. So what we do, we gathered we did it in the training center, I think about a few years ago prior to COVID, and where we will have those persons come in to share their piece.
Right.
And it was well attended. I mean, the persons who went got good nuggets from it.
Right,
And it's
yeah,
something
yeah.
that we'll probably be looking at doing
Another
sometime.
time.
Yes.
Okay, that'll be
so
good.
for persons who's interested in things like that, check out our Facebook page. Yeah.
Right.
We are on there, and you could ask your questions, or you could call our number. It's 439-2724.
All right.
All
great.
right.
All right. And then we'll remind the folks about that contact
Yes.
again. Comment, just when
Yes.
we're wrapping up. Okay. So let's go and start to talk about money because I could tell you this hour goes by quickly. Yeah.
Right.
So we're talking money mainly because, well, as you rightly said, people always want it. Think that they can manage it.
Yes.
Because of course we always want something and assume that because we have it or can have it, that when we have it we'll be fine.
Yes.
And I am always, I don't know what you as an accountant will say about this, but I'm always intrigued by individuals who gamble and get caught, and of course in
Yes.
some cases they are successful in terms of yes, they get
they
the
get some
money.
money.
And most of the cases, and I know that studies have showed this, statistics show that there are a lot of people who want money and they say it really just made it worse for them.
Yes.
Because within a very short time
They lose everything.
and it has to be something is going wrong there. So let's start with wherever you want to go.
Right.
With
so
that.
I would go back to the mindset.
Yes.
Because like you said, I mean, earning money is, especially right now in 2022, is one of the easiest things. When we look around and we see You have people that didn't even finish school and they earning more money than
Oh,
persons
yes.
who would have finished.
Oh, yes.
So
And persons who are
money,
PhD. Let me put it, make
they
sure
put-
you're not just finish school.
Well, I just put it into the layman term because what we were thought about
Yeah.
money is that
Yeah.
go to school,
And you'll
get
make
a
money.
job, get some money, buy something,
Yeah.
buy a house, and we start the process all over again.
Right.
Yeah, but is that the mindset of the rich or the wealthy? What is the mindset of persons that are still poor? Is it that they are poor mindset? Yeah, and they want to be rich because you think if you get some money, you'll just be rich automatically. Yeah, you might be rich in dollars, but you may not be rich in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the piece I want to start with.
Okay.
What is the mindset? So I just have some little nuggets here on the poor mindset. So I'll read out the poor first, and then audience, you will see where you fall.
All right.
All right. So mindset of the poor. They see success as not important. So it doesn't matter if you succeed or you fail. They don't see that as important. They blame others. I teach a little thing called living above the line. And in the living above the line, we draw a line in the center of the sheet or the whiteboard or whatever. And below it, we have a term called BED. And what I ask my audience when I present is, what is BED? When we say BED, what are we talking about? So everybody automatically knows
We'll
bed.
say bed, yeah.
But bed, again, the question I always pose, when you're in bed for a while, what happens to you? Right? We are paralyzed. And the first letter in bed is blame. Yeah? The second letter of bed, when we break it down, is excuses. So we are below the line already.
Yes,
So
yes.
you start to blame persons
everybody
for the
else. And
position that you're in.
circumstances and every other thing. Yes.
Exactly. And you make a number of excuses. I was late because this happened to me because I was, I don't have money because. So we got a lot of excuses. And the last letter in bed is D.
You're dead?
Denial.
Oh, I thought you're dead.
We are in denial of
Yeah,
all
you're
these
in
things
denial.
are happening
Yeah.
around us. Oh, that's not really happening. No. Somebody do me. Somebody. We get it instead of taking what we
Responsibility.
call the OR, which is the piece above the line, OAR, which is the organizational piece. Yeah. Accountability for what is going on, and your responsibility. Yeah. So that is what we teach when we say living above the line. So as I
Right.
mentioned, blame. I
Yes.
just wanted to let people know
But-
we
but-
always blame for when things happen to us instead of taking responsibility.
But by the time you live by the bed,
yes,
you're dead.
you're dead.
So I already thought the D.
You should have been there too.
May have been dead. But no, that's
But
really
it gives
interesting.
you hope.
If you don't mind, just repeat it again. I
Right.
already did it.
So
Yeah.
the concept, and you can search it out on YouTube, it's all over the
Yeah.
internet. It's called living above,
Above
the,
the
line.
line.
So below that line is the word BED. And the B represents blame.
Yeah.
The E represents excuses, and the D represents denial.
Right.
And above that line, you know what an oar is. Everybody should know what an oar is. And for the people who don't know, an oar is when you have a boat and a stick that
And
you
you have the
use to
paddle, yes.
move you from one thing. So the contrast is the bed, you're stable, because if you're in bed, you cannot move.
Yep.
And the above the line piece is your oar,
You're
which allows
moving.
you to
Yes.
move, right? And as I said, the O is more your organizational skills, yes? Your A is your accountability, maybe need to give account. So the opposite of you making excuses, give an
give
account
account
of.
of, yes.
And of course, your R is taking responsibility. It happened to me, so I am going to fix it. When you
Yes.
start taking responsibility, then you start to make the change, right? So I just wanted to expand a little on the blame piece.
Yes.
So I continue with the mentality of the poor, and that's mentality of the poor, the BED. Of course, the mentality of the OAR is on the other side, which is the
Right.
rich. All right? So the poor people mentality, you spend money. So once you get money, I hear people
spend.
say already,
Oh, yeah.
money is to spend. And while we agree, but you have to know how.
Correct.
Yeah? We also have under the side of the poor, they refuse to study. So people finish school and they're satisfied. I passed that, I
Yeah,
could.
that's it.
Their mentality, oh, I old already.
I too old for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get that a lot. All right? The other thing is attention on the past. Again, the blame game. Yeah, excuses. Oh, my mother and them be poor.
Yeah.
My parents they come out from nothing. And what? Here's the opportunity to change that.
Yeah.
Now you know what your history is. Yes. Do you stay in your history or do you make the change? Right. Income driven. So all you're studying to do is just get a little job, go to 8 to 4. They pay whatever they pay, and you're satisfied with that. Yeah. Not looking to go the extra mile. Think small. So you're in this little area. You're not thinking about expanding yourself or doing something different. Yeah. And they fear change. Oh, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
Fear in change. You know, I mean, I don't want to criticize religion too much, but this one has a little bit to do with sometimes with religion.
Yeah.
You know, people use the Bible so-called quotation
Oh yes, convenient.
about money is the root of all evil, and I don't think that is what the scripture.
No, that is not what
saying.
scripture said. It
So
said the love of it,
the
not
love
money.
of money. Yes.
It didn't
So
say money.
people fear money. We don't want to earn because we hear Mr. John down the road rich and he mean and he greedy, and we don't want to have nothing to do with all me get all this money for I to be mean and greedy. So we fear that change. Yeah.
Right.
So we go stay according to them old people. We be too kakada and we good.
You-
Yes. The old people will know what they're talking about.
Okay,
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
Have to process that one. Yes.
And you criticize stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a critic. So you, of course, as a fair change, is that criticizing because I don't want to do this because I'm going to be. People going to be critical of me. All right. So let me not beat you up too much with the poor mindset, but let's move over to
Yes.
some of the items of the rich mindset. They see success as an obligation.
Right.
They want to succeed. That is what they're working towards, success. Yeah. Again, remember I mentioned or responsibility. They take responsibility
Yes.
for their monies and how they spend their money. Yeah. They invest their money. So remember the other side of that, we have the poor mindset like to spend their money. The rich mindset like to invest.
Right.
And we know what investment is. It yields profit after profit. But when you spend your money, what happens? You don't have it anymore.
Right. Yeah.
But if you invest it, that is, you put it aside. Right? According to some one of my speakers, it's like seed corn,
yes.
where you put it aside for later. So when you plant that corn, you expect to get something after that. You don't sit and eat the corn because you will
eat your
have
seed.
it. Exactly,
Yeah.
eat your seed.
But we will have to. I would like, and I know there is no way I'm going to even try for us to do that today. But I would like us to talk about how to invest, because I do believe that there are people who, even if you have the rich mindset, many people still don't know how to invest. We know that the word.
Yes.
We know it means to put in to get back, but it's like, what kind of investment opportunities that there might be,
right.
how to choose,
The right
correctly
one.
and that kind of thing.
But
So
that would take a little time.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would
For
take-
sure, that is a different program.
Yes.
But I'm just throwing it out because I'm
love
already,
to.
I'm already asking it to come back.
Wonderful.
Yes.
All right. So just to continue a little again on the rich mindset, the rich mindset persons read and study because you want to know what's happening. You want to keep up with the trends. You want to know what is happening, especially in this economy that's constantly changing.
Yes, yes.
But if you sit there and do nothing, nothing would happen.
Right.
Right? They think big, of course, which is the other side of what it is, and they embrace change, right? And they have multiple flow of income. So they're not sit down just on the one job that they pay you and complain all day long,
Yeah.
but they think about other flows of income. So these are just a few. And again, these are things, persons, if you really want to know a lot more about money, you need to search it out.
Yeah.
There's no other way to do it. For you to get better, you have to become better. And you need to do that through learning. Again, me in an age and a time where nobody have to tell us anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the internet is open. I mean, you have information on there. Of course, you have to be careful what you're reading. but we have sense. We know what is good and what is not good. Obviously.
And the truth is that if you reach it out, when I think of money, I usually, in terms of getting information about money, I'm always thinking, how about if you talk with people who have money?
That's
like, hello, they have it.
They have
what did they
money.
do? I
That's
mean,
it.
providing that they didn't thief, but even if they stole for it, because that will also teach you as well.
Yes.
So how did you become successful, whatever that definition might mean for you? So I believe that in addition to the internet and every other place, but some people are just too proud to ask for help.
Yes. But I think again, going back to the mindset, is how much you want to learn, right? We have been in business for over 20 something years. Of course, when we started business, we made a number of mistakes.
Oh yes.
Right? But we didn't sit there and wallow in our mistakes. We started reading, we started learning, we listened to a lot of motivational speakers, again, persons who would have started maybe from scratch. One of the good guys is Les Brown. It's a black.
Oh yes, I know Les. That motivational guy. Speaker.
He's very good and encourages persons. So if you want something bad enough, you would find a way. You would definitely find a way to get that thing.
But would you say, and especially from your experience in the area of money and finances and so, would you say that a lot of people, especially in our society now, would you say that people want things bad enough? In that people want it. The issue is not about wanting it, but the bad enough as in want it enough to make the difference.
Change, yes.
Exactly. That's necessary to get it. Because everybody wants money.
Yes.
There's no question that people want money. But who's willing to work hard? Because in wanting money, they want a lot of people I have found want somebody to give it to them.
That is what it is. Yeah.
So you want it, but are you willing to work for it?
Yeah. But not only work for it, let it work for you.
That too.
But as you say, I think people want it bad, but they don't want to put in the work.
Effort. Yeah.
To, even when you get it, to hold on to it. Yeah? Because it's, as I told you right now, it's the easiest way to make money. You're just sitting at home in your PJs and you're blogging, you're gaming, you're doing all kind of things to get money. But when you get it, what do you do with it? Or how do you earn more of it? Yeah? And as you say, these things through investment and so. So I want to jump into, again, one of my guys, motivational guys that talk a little about money and how he breaks down something as small as $1. It's called What to Do with a Dollar. And one of the first things he said, you do not eat the whole dollar. Right? His concept was that you do not spend more than 70%.
Right.
Now you're wondering how he came up with that. What I suggest to persons when I teach that concept is first you have to do your budget.
Right.
You have to determine what it costs you on a month-to-month basis per se to live.
Yeah.
What is your rent? If you're paying for childcare, if you're paying mortgage or rent in that case, your light bill, your phone bill, you need to know that number. Once you get that number, you take that number and you divide it. So that total value over your income piece.
Well, Hilary, that's where the trouble starts already.
Yes.
You know,
no, so some people have it negative.
because some will say exactly.
Yes, but that's okay.
All right.
But the key is to know the number.
To know the number. Right.
Now, if you don't know something, you can't make a change.
Okay.
You need to know what is happening in order for you to do something about it.
True.
Again, instead of being in denial and saying, hey, I just make it every month.
Yeah.
Yes, you're making it, but do you really want to just make it?
Make it.
Or do you want to...
And making it might mean always asking somebody else to pick up the slack. Give me a $10 now, give me a bus fee now, whatever. Every time something comes up. So you continue to stay in that position because somebody is going to pick up the slack on your behalf.
Definitely. So you need, I would suggest people, it might be hard, it might be embarrassing, but it's your number.
Yeah.
You are the one that have to sit and write that down. Yeah? And like I say, once you see what that number is, you take that number and you divide it by your income coming in. So your monthly income. So if that is $300, you take the 300 and you divide it by the 700 and you multiply it out by the 100 to get it in percentage wise.
Right.
Because the dollar is like 100%.
Yeah.
Right? So once you see what that number is, if you have anything left, right, then we look at other ways that you can, whether it is you invest that money. One of the first things that people should do with their money, and I know a lot of people would not agree, is charity or church.
Oh yeah, you have to give.
And the scripture says it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, give and it shall be given back to you. People don't play with that. I have experienced it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that when
I
you
think
give,
every successful business, whether they're very rich, in terms, I shouldn't say rich, but wealth, even if you
Wealth.
have a lot or you don't, it doesn't matter how big or how small the business is, you have to give.
You have to give.
It
Yes.
is you can't play with that principle.
That's it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hold back their tithes. And as a result, you're not seeing growth. You're saying, well, what's happening to me? And somebody who might be earning less, you see,
Oh,
they're
yes.
doing both.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because the scripture says that he will fill the cup. Yeah? So you give something small and you're wondering like, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't have to pay for this. I didn't, things were just happening.
yeah.
Doors are
Oh,
just
yeah. Oh, yeah.
opening up
For you.
when
Yeah.
you start to give.
To give.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course I just wanted to deliberately put in my pastoral part here.
Yes, I would want
When
you to.
in the giving is the whole, again, the mindset
It's
as it
the-
relates to giving, because some people could give just from the place of obligation. Well, I had to
Yes.
give,
Yes.
and you're vexed to bust while you're giving.
That's it.
I remember, and I'm using it because seeing that we just reached there, I really do believe that it is so critical for us to understand. There was a time, and it's just very strange, but there was a time in ministry, we don't know what was happening. We would count money. That was just really strange. You know, you have
Yeah.
some occurrences you could never
figure
out.
Yes.
And monies will just be missing. From my understanding, I know I didn't have any teeth in the church.
Right.
No, for real. It was crazy. And the thing happened, let's say over a period about 7 months, the thing happened more than 3 times.
Wow.
It's like, what is going on? No, for real. And there was a day, I mean, I'm a very spiritual person. And there was a day, this is something to really pray about. Is like, God, what is going on here? And it is something that I kind of raised, but it is not something that you're going on, because you cannot, certain things you have to be so careful how you raise it.
Right.
Because then you do not want to
What
come across
effect?
like you're trying to say that,
fingers.
put point fingers and see.
Yes.
So I'm there and I'm saying, all right, God, I don't know what is going on here. Please, please reveal that thing. I don't know. And I up to this day, I cannot say that I knew exactly where it went, how it disappeared. I don't think I'm crazy. I know how to
Right.
count money. And especially the little bit we used to get, like, hello. So you can't make a mistake on it.
Right.
But in that season of prayer, I saw in a very clear and open vision, I saw this a hand, but the hand was very dark and gnarled. Like a very, yes.
Yes.
I'm like, and this thing was just pressing. You're seeing the money in the vision, you're seeing the money in the offering
Wow.
basket. And this hand, and I'm like, what strange looking,
that?
what is that? And I felt the Spirit of the Lord was saying, let the people know that if they're not pleased to give to me, don't give it.
Yes.
So,
And that's
okay,
an
that's an
important
interesting thing. It's like, for me, I would say it. I mean,
Right.
with no question. I'm not the one who will be like, oh my God, well, by saying that you wouldn't
You're
get any money. That
offended,
would not move me. So the Sunday, I did.
Right.
Before picking up the offering, I said, if it is that you are giving and you have been, you've counted what you have and you're giving from a place of grudging, you're angry, by the time you finish give, you wonder, God, when am I going to get back?
Yes.
And I said, once you have that attitude, do not give.
Right.
I collected $20 that day.
Wow.
No
Wow.
lie.
Yes.
And I was like, interesting.
Yes.
And the Lord said to me, see if you will miss any more after.
Yes.
I could never, it's a strange thing, as I said. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sharing
because
it
they
here
have
now
to be-
publicly,
yeah.
but it's just so interesting. But I do believe, because whether we want to admit it or not, a lot of spiritual things
Of
happen.
course.
Lots of
Of
things
course.
happen that we cannot deliberately
Explain.
define and explain. Yeah. But the truth is, I have never had an issue of
Anymore.
missing, for real.
Yes,
But I
yes, no.
do really, I am convinced to this day that the heart of the people had a lot of
do.
bearing on just how far that money can go,
yes.
just how much the money can be multiplied.
Yes,
because I
yes.
do believe that money multiplies.
Of course.
It multiplies.
Of course.
It's not a physical thing, but it does multiply. And I do believe that a heart position has everything to do with whether or not you can receive more on what you have
I
given.
would totally agree.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah.
Okay, so back to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, I would suggest, and sometimes even out of our trials, even with money, even though you're saying after you did your budget, you're negative, as Ms. Ruffin would say.
Yeah.
Still take
Still
that
do.
percentage and put it into charity or church. Because that is your first and should be your first investment. That one, as she mentioned, that would help you with your money multiplying.
I don't
Yes.
know that people want to because how do I take, people will say I don't have already.
Yes.
How do I take what I don't have
Yes.
and give to
The church.
church
Or the pastor.
or, yeah,
Yes,
people,
I
all
know.
right, or to charity. Oh, these people just sit down there, they ain't doing nothing,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
But there is that kind of mindset.
Yes.
Really hinders. It hinders.
Yes.
It hinders. Of course, we won't take more time another time
Yeah,
on it.
to
Definitely,
certainly.
we'll maybe have to just talk
Come
about
on.
giving,
Right.
because it is a very important area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, I mean, a lot of it, as I say, some of it is based on your belief, because some people
True.
don't believe that if they give the church or the pastor, they will get anything. 'Cause that is to make pastor rich.
Yeah.
And as Ms. Ruffin said, if you think that is the case, then keep your money.
Keep it.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
That investment will be null and void.
Of course.
Right? But if you give out of a heart of love and trust and faith in God, I could guarantee that those would open your wonder and why people being so nice? Why are things happening to me? Yeah, I heard one of my motivational speakers say that he didn't have to buy clothes. You know, people was just calling him and giving him stuff,
Giving clothes, yeah.
even though it's in a bigger world. But
Yeah.
why it can't happen here?
But the thing is, I don't think that people equate giving money with receiving kind
Kind.
in the way, oh, if I give money, I should receive
money
money in
back.
return.
Yes.
Not realizing that the fact that you give, if you give $200, the bag of clothes that somebody
Somebody would
blesses
gift
you
with.
with is more
More
than
than
$1,000.
exactly.
You didn't have the $1,000 in the
But
first
that's
place
a
to go and
very, very, very
purchase
good point,
clothes.
yes.
But I think to the principle, that particular portion of scripture that says, give, and people usually stop and say, and it shall be given back to you. That is not what the scripture says. At least that is not where it ends.
That's
It
right.
says, give, and it will be given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. But that's not it. That's not all of it. Shall men pour into your bosom. I think that part right there is the issue. People are thinking give and it stopped with you shall get
Give
it
it back
pressed
to you.
over. Yeah. But it is that men, meaning other
That
human beings,
will
is
put
who
into-
will be the ones given back to you. God uses people to bless you.
Of course.
You know, and it just goes. It is just an
Yeah.
amazing thing. Anyhow, let me be
No,
quiet
but
because
it's very
that's
good
my
point.
baby
Yes.
of a topic.
Well,
Because I've
actually
seen
that one out for
no,
last.
not at all. Yeah, we'll just do it another
No, but
program.
I
Trust me.
think because it's a religious thing too, it's important that people understand why they're giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just giving because somebody command you to give. Or are you thinking, oh, if I don't give, then
I will
being
look
mean,
bad. But
or that
some
kind of
people
thing.
give because they feel they will look bad, you know.
That's it.
And they feel shame.
shame,
If
right.
you're giving because you feel shame, oh God, somebody watching me in the pew, and if they pass the
That's
offering
it.
basket, Lord, I don't go up. No. That's crazy. You
Yes.
don't
You
don't give
don't
out
make
of that
sense
mindset.
giving
No.
that. Yes.
You don't give out of that mindset. You give having decided that here what I want to give.
That's it.
And it's really part of covenanting.
Right.
If you give, you are covenanting with God,
God,
understanding that
understanding.
God is your maker. He has
and your
chosen to
provider.
give to you. Can you imagine if we had to pay for air?
Yeah. I'm telling you,
No, for it. Just being able to pay for anything that
Oh,
we
you mean
use
that
so
he-
freely.
yeah,
just
he
the
gave us,
well, I mean
yes.
that too.
Yeah,
Our
the
air too,
air,
but
the
just
air.
the air that we breathe.
Breathe,
If we had
yes.
to pay, because I mean, when we buy bottled water,
yeah.
bottled water expensive. eh?
Yeah, sure. Right.
But can you imagine if we had to pay that amount of money in bottled water back to God just for the water that he live in the river and that he's allowing rain to fall?
Fall, yes.
If we had to
Pay.
pay for
single thing
everything,
that
the
you
gallop
give.
of air, because I have a feeling air would be really expensive, especially
course.
the fact that it's so valuable.
Yes.
So can you imagine if you were to put a value on air?
And how you measure that? Because
Hey.
every time while you're sitting there, you're breathing every second. Yeah.
How will a child pay for air because he or she not working? So if
That's
we
a good
begin to
point.
think about it from that place, so I mean to give the portion that God usually, demands, and I'm deliberately using the word demands, whether or not you want to do what it is that He says, but the truth is that it is a demand, and it is a very fair one.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I give you 100%. I only want you to
A
give
small
10.
percent. Yes.
Hey, you're 90 for
For
yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
continue. So let's go
Right,
back
so-
to the dollar. So give.
So what they consider the remainder. So initially I said that my motivational speaker came up with 70%. So the remainder 30%, you give 10%, right? That makes up the 80% because we're doing a dollar.
Right.
So the 70% you spend.
You spend. That's yours. Do
Yeah,
what
that
you want.
You
Yeah.
do what you want with it. The 10% you give to church or charity. The other 10% you bring it into the market, meaning you invest it.
Right.
Yes? So how can you invest? You can invest by creating a business.
Right.
Yeah? So either you start something or you decide you're going to partner with somebody who already has a business and looking for money.
Ah.
Now
right.
you have your money sitting in the bank. How much interest we getting on our savings right now? Maybe about less than 1%.
But even
2%.
right now, it's worse because remember, banking institutions, the last time I opened an account, they're encouraging online banking alone
Yes.
so that they don't have to give you interest anymore. So a
Ah,
lot of
you
new
see that?
accounts are not
Interest earning.
They're not earning any interest in any event.
So that makes that even worse.
Forget it. That's out of the question now. So just putting it in the bank
Yeah,
is just
it's
that
just
they're just
holding it
holding it
for-
for.
yes.
Actually,
And
you're paying
charges
them
you.
because I was just going to say that because you have to pay for the service of holding your money for you.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
that's the whole
So
story.
why not take that money, that 10%? And of course, it may not be right away. But
have
you
to
start to
gather
think
it.
about, gathering it. And put it into somebody's business. And ask them to give you a share, percentage
Right.
in that business. That's a way of investment.
Right.
Yeah, you're bringing capital to the marketplace. Because instead of this person have to go to the bank and get a 13%
Right.
interest on a loan and all the other things the bank usually
Well, ask
requests
for-
from
yes.
you. Why not partner with them? You do a proper document through some legal person and you have an arrangement where you give them that money, so whether it is in the business for a period or you choose to take some percentage of the business and the money stays here over time, multiply it.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but okay, let me not ask that question because
No,
that
no,
will
go
bring
ahead.
us into depth of it will bring us deeper into what is in how to invest.
Yeah.
And I know I do
You don't want to
believe no, I
expand
don't
on it.
want to interfere with that yet
Okay.
because I do believe that already needs a program in truth
What's
because.
that?
The simple way you've put it, it has given to me right now. I've just been inspired by because I used to always say, well, I don't have enough money to invest.
Yes.
I mean, I know I have said that before.
Right.
As in, I'm looking at it, I'm saving it, and I'm like, this a little bit of money, where am I going to
Gonna put
invest
it,
this
yes,
little bit of money?
yes.
But the way you just said it there, it made
makes-
so much,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So I do believe, without a doubt, we will have to come
Yeah,
back and
change that,
talk
yes.
about investment,
in
how to really do it, because I know for sure that people need to be educated about that.
Yes.
Right.
I don't have a problem.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
So
So that
invest
that takes up to 90%.
90%. Yes.
And the last 10%, you can choose to put it again in another form of investment. So this first investment I talked about is more active investment. So you're putting money into a business, they use the money, they generate money for you. The other piece is passive. So when you're sleeping, your money making
money for you.
And how will people do that again? Through real estate. Yeah, you have a downstairs in your house. You put some money into that, do an apartment. Everybody looking for a place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not short of that. But when you put that money, that investment is not an expense. It's adding value. Yeah, and as you sleep, that money is making money because the person who coming to rent from you have to pay you.
Of course.
And you don't have to do anything. But then maybe keep the lights on if that is included in your rent.
Yes.
But
yes.
that is passive investment. And as you say, we wouldn't go too much into it, but there's
Yeah,
other
but we'll
ways
certainly come
of
and sit
passively
and look at.
investing. But that is another way.
I see you have not mentioned savings.
Right, but savings, when
Or
you
do we
could choose
consider
to,
that, or do we consider those forms of investment technically what you are going to end up saving?
well, you could convert what you would have invested into savings later. So,
Okay.
and again, it depends on the person and the risk that they want to take. So you might choose to do the passive investment first and take that money and later do some savings. Out of that, you could split to do the active investment. So you could start with one type of investment, which is maybe, as I say, if you find the right business partner and the right business and you're thinking you want some money and this business look at something that could turn around quickly.
Right.
Or if you're not too much of a risk taker and you want to do the passive one where you show when people rent you will get your money,
Yes,
you
you
could
sure,
do that.
yeah.
And you could take some out of that and do your savings.
Right.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the individual.
Right.
Some people like to keep their money safe. So out of that
A
same
lot of people are not
30%,
risk takers,
yes, you could take 10% and do
And just
saving.
save. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, every question that is coming up now
Yes.
is pushing me into investment, but let me not do that. Okay,
Yes.
you know what, Hilary? It's amazing. We have only a few more minutes. So we didn't
For
take a
1
break.
hour?
I know, yep. So we'll
Wow.
take a quick break.
Okay.
And we are going to be right back. And we'll, of course, continue to talk about how to deal with that dollar. All right,
Okay.
let's take a break.
You are my strength, strength like no other, strength like no other, reaches to me. You are my hope, hope like no other, hope like no other, reaches to me. In the fullness of your grace, in the power of your name, you lift me up, you lift me up.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. If you just joined us, oh my, well, you'll have to catch us on Facebook. But we have just a few more minutes, and I am chatting this morning with Hilary Lawrence, manager and operator, owner of Business Support Center right in St. George's, Grenada. And it's really good when we have our own persons right here helping us. So we're talking money. We haven't even gotten Hilary into him starting to manage the money.
So we haven't
But
even got
that's
the
all-
money terms.
I know, right? But that's all right. Definitely, we settling it.
Yes,
We'll be back
yeah, I'll be
because we
back.
have to finish. So let's just finish up with the dollar that we were talking about before the
Right.
break, and I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 terms
Yes.
that we
So
can manage
I
before we
was
end.
just breaking down what to do with a dollar, and I suggested that you don't spend more than 70% of the dollar. How we came up with a number was just a number that somebody kind of pulled out the hat. So to know what your dollar is, I suggested that you do a budget. But
Yeah.
not budget, it will be actual.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you actually spend on a monthly basis. Once you get that figure, you divide it by how much you have coming in, your income. And then again multiplied by 100 because we want to get the percentage amount. All right? Once you know what that number is, then the rest you break down in terms of investments. And I mentioned passive investment where you have a building, your home that you can put some money into and convert it into an apartment so that when persons come, they use it and they pay you. Yeah? Again, while you sleep, that building is
Making money
working
for
for
you.
you.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't have to beat up yourself, you don't have to run out to work, you know. And then we talked about the active capital. Instead of, again, putting your money into the bank where the interest rate now is near to zero.
Yeah.
So for the lucky people who have, maybe you look at interest now, but as Ms. Ruffin said, she heard that the
Yeah, new
interest
accounts.
is
A lot of new accounts is not
zero.
interest on it. Yeah.
Find a person in your neighborhood, find somebody, and invest in their business. Yeah, so that you can get some percentage out of it, or you put the money in there and you charge them an interest rate instead of giving the bank that money.
Right.
Because right now, banks not even interested in
Giving, yeah.
not giving loan, just taking money. They're
yeah.
quite liquid, and liquid means that they just have a lot of cash.
Too much. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and when they have a lot of
Because
cash in the
people are not
economy,
investing.
people are not
Yeah.
invested. Yeah, people are scared to invest. And again, that goes back to our mindset. When we grew, what was our mindset about
But
money?
to put away the money.
Yes.
Put it in your mattress, put it in a milk pan, put it
Yes,
in a tree
save it for a
stump.
rainy
Everything
day.
was about putting away the money. Yeah.
So that mindset has to change in order for us to earn, in order for us to our money bank to grow. That mindset has to change. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier about some things that we can do to help us get better in terms of the mindset piece. Yeah, take responsibility. So if you don't need that car, do not buy the car.
Seeing that you say car,
Yes.
in a used vehicle and a brand new one. And I mean, I know, of course, that is still a matter of choice. But you see so many beautiful new vehicles owned, well, by the bank in Grenada. Okay, well, I can't say owned by the people who drive in it. In many cases, it's owned by the bank,
of course, because
some
it's mortgaged.
institution. If it's very high, and the mortgage, we know the kind, of course. But what, honestly and truly, from a financial place, not from a personal place, is
Well,
it
for
what
the
do
financial-
financials see? Yeah.
Well, I know what the financial institution offer. The deals are sweet. Meaning that if you want to buy something brand new, your payment, sometimes you pay nothing down.
Yeah, right. Nothing done, but a long time to continue to pay.
Yes, but people don't think about that because let's say you're currently a customer in the bank and you're paying well. Some people trade out their old car for a new one with nearly nothing down.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes they tell them, okay, come up with 10%. And people find, that's a
not
good,
a lot.
sweet deal.
Yes.
Based on the value. And I come up with that and I have a brand new something.
Yes.
So as much as it doesn't go back to financial, not financial, personal, it also goes back to personal. How do you people want to see you? How do you want people perceive you?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have money? Because I have a
even
brand new car?
Even if you're hungry, even if you can't put more than $20 every time I go in the gas station.
Yes.
But right.
So that comes
But it's a
back
new
to
car.
yes.
Okay.
Your budget. How much out of your money goes into that? Whereas you could have bought in with that same 10%. A used car that you have no debt on. Or maybe
brand
a
new.
smaller debt.
If it's a brand new. All cash. Yes.
So you have to decide what is your month-to-month, what is happening in your finances. And the only how to do that is to write it down. Take stock of what is going on.
What you have.
Yeah. Because again, sometimes people living in very much denial. Yeah. Even of their finances. What is happening in their finances because they find, they're making it. But is it just good enough just to make it?
Just to make it, yeah.
Or do you want to be above that? Do you want to have money, according to my brother-in-law, flowing over? Like when you're ready to go on vacation, you have no worry. Yeah?
Well, what about, and then I remember our ECC, our Caribbean Bank, Eastern Caribbean Bank, our governor, who is of course Grenada, and I remember him doing a workshop with us, and one of the things he made very clear, because at that time he was the finance officer, I can't remember what the phrase, the title that he had in Grenada, right? And I remember he had this really wonderful workshop with us, a bunch of teachers, and he said, one of the things that you never do is take a loan to go on a vacation.
Yes.
So as you mentioned vacation, I just remember that he was so adamant about that.
Yes.
And he went on to say, you went on the vacation. You used this money that you did not have.
Yes.
And now you have to get tired to pay for what you went and relax on.
Exactly.
The thing is, and
that was poignant.
No,
yes.
it is really ridiculous, because vacation money should be like debit money. It should be money you have there
Set aside,
already.
yes.
But to take a loan, and some people might be listening to us and say, well, lady, woman, only could run all the money as much as you want.
Yeah.
But the truth is that a few years from now, then you'll begin to feel, the pressure of not having managed money
Yes.
properly.
Because you see, again, people not thinking about budgeting. You want to get this thing, you need to start putting aside the money. So whether it is in a savings, whether it is in an investment, put aside this thing, because you know when you want to take vacation. You should know what the
What you want to
vacation
do.
costs.
Yes.
So why not cut back maybe on some activity and put that money towards it?
So you don't have to go and take no loan.
You don't have to take the loan. Because like you said, after you come out and had a nice time, you have to start worrying now, where am I getting this money? You might have to
pay
do
back.
2 jobs, you might have to do
Yep.
overtime on your job
Yep.
just to pay back for that thing. So
Whereas
your
maybe you could have
vacation
done that before. Take the 2 jobs before, at least you're tired. So when you go on the vacation, now you could
you
relax.
can relax and you don't have that headache when you come
You
back.
don't have the headache when you come
Because now you have that vacation loan on top of everything
back. What
else
else you had before?
that's
Exactly.
going on
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
So there are times when you will want to take a loan, but there are times when you could think smarter and say, you know what, I want to take the kids to Disney. I can't do it this year,
Yes.
but I'm going to save it for next summer. What does it take? How much do I need? So
Yes.
that again comes to planning. So maybe in the next session we should talk about
Exactly,
planning.
yeah. Because even with the concept of saying, we mentioned briefly at different times, we mentioned budget. But
Right.
even while we mentioned budget, I believe people still have a concept in their head about budget where once I write it down, I have budgeted.
No.
You know what I mean? Well, I write it down.
No.
So I budget. But, and then that same person who budgets will come and complain and say, well, I still don't have any money.
Yeah.
But the fact of budgeting is obviously, well, I have to be budgeting only what I sure I get in.
Yeah, no.
And I think,
But
I
budgeting
have
is,
it. You
is
know.
pre-planning.
Exactly.
pre-planning.
So you can't plan for what you don't have
Yes,
or what you
yeah.
don't know where you're getting it from. But I do believe it's like people will just put down the budget away,
Yes,
and you're seeing that huge figure, and you know that what you are earning is
doesn't
about
make
half of the figure, but you're still adding more things
to it.
to it. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we will have to do that, and we'll have to have pen and paper and go back to school, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
we will
we'll
have to.
do
I
that.
believe we will
Yes,
do that
yeah.
because we want to ensure that when people leave this session, they really are
honest.
able to
Do better.
Yeah.
Take some action.
Because in school we did POB.
Right.
Some people did POB. Now with all the subjects that's there, some people never even hear a principle of
Well,
business.
it's true.
You never do it at all, and then you have money to manage.
You have
How
money
do
to
you really?
manage,
Yeah. How do you do that? You see people buying lunch every day.
No, boy. I see that all the time at my office. And
Yeah.
I try to school the young people. But again, people think once they have money, it's just to spend.
It's just a spam.
And then later they cry and they blame and they complain. But if you don't take the right action, you don't expect a different result. What they call that madness.
Mad, total lunacy.
Yeah? So in order to make something happen, you have to make a change.
Yeah.
You have to do something different. So for the persons who never wrote down in their life all the things they spend money on, no, sit and write it. Just pull a piece of
Just
paper
put that. Yeah.
and start to write down all the things. Whether it is you go by the bar every weekend and you spend $20 on bears, that's money.
And especially when you're buying the beers for somebody else.
Yeah. I have people, I tell them, I say, cut it out.
Yeah.
Some people have a lot of extracurricular activity or extra families. You know, some people have the extra this one here, extra this one. All that is money, people.
I like how you put it nicely.
Extra families.
Extra family.
Yes. Yeah. And it all
And it's
costs
not
money.
and it's not charity we're talking
No,
about.
it's not charity. Because that don't come back to you.
Yeah. But the thing is, as you just mentioned, cutting out some of the things that you might have had. I can't remember where I was reading up on this, but one suggestion was if there is something that you like a lot that you don't have to have. So like maybe that cup of coffee or that punch,
Right.
especially the punch. Oh
Right.
boy, that some
The
people just
13,
feel that
15,
must have a
yeah,
punch
yeah.
every day, and you might say, here what? How about if I have only a punch once a week?
Yes.
And the money I would have taken to buy the others, let me just put that and see.
aside,
And I
save it.
remember doing that with some people.
Yes.
It was Hilary, we
Amazing.
were amazed at how much money
Yes.
you actually can have at the end of the year.
Yes.
It was amazing. Everybody was like,
Yeah.
you know, it really was amazing, you know, and yeah, and a lot of the times you say, I have spent money I don't have.
Yes, but you have.
But the truth is, you had it. That's
But
why you
you
could have
just
spent
spent
it.
it.
You know,
It's just how you spend
it's
it.
how you spend it.
But that's a good suggestion. Find something that you, of course, if you give it up, you will die. Not your
Yes, of course. Yeah,
medication and stuff.
not the medication.
As Ms. Rufin mentioned, maybe coffee. You like coffee.
Yeah, just
Or
something.
you may like the drink, the punch that they make
Yeah.
in mall.
Or Monster,
or the roti
that
that
not
you
doing
have to
anything
buy
for you.
every
Yeah,
day.
yeah. It's $15 now for a chicken roti, yeah?
Put that in a little pan. And you could start with weekly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you can move into monthly. Then month to month. Then yearly. And you'll be amazed. You might be able to buy your own
No, but
things
it is the truth.
and make it for yourself.
And I've, at least from my comment to close words, one of the things I would say, I lost my home, my house. Let me not say a home. You can't lose your home.
Yes,
Your home is what you make it wherever you
yeah.
live.
Yes.
But I lost my house to foreclosure, right? And one of the things I learned out of the experience, because sometimes people still look at me, oh my God, you lose your home. I was like, whatever you lose, you can get back.
But, yeah, of course.
God will bless you again with it. You made your foolish decision then, but God could bless you back another time. But besides that, one of the things I learned was, or is, that when you think that you have money and you just spend it, so like in the case of that, the Bible said, I mean, I wasn't a believer then, so I didn't know better.
Right.
But when the Bible says that owe no man anything but the gift of love,
Right.
I didn't look at it, of course, from the place of that, because I just figured, well, you're young and the way to go. So even with the mindset, I believe our societal, the way we have been socialized have a lot of influence.
Of course.
So we've been taught, oh, well, clearly you don't have enough money, so just credit.
Yes.
Credit. You want it. As a matter of fact, what was, if you, credit if you have it.
Yeah.
No,
cash if
you have it.
Credit if you want it. Yes. Yes.
Well, Lord, post. We sorry, Postal, but yeah, you said it on the radio, so we got to use it back on you. But the thing is, that has been the mindset.
Yes.
You want it, and so I realized. So now I don't have a house with my name on it,
Right.
but I'm still living.
Yes.
And I looked back and I said, if I had taken all these thousands of dollars that I paid while I was working as a younger person, and I still don't have the house.
Right.
If I had known better, I already didn't.
Yes.
And I had saved that money, because now I don't credit.
Right,
Period.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. I do not credit. It
yes,
doesn't matter what.
right.
I wait.
You wait.
I
And you
have
credit.
learned how to be
So
very
patient,
patient.
yes.
And
That's
I
important,
wait.
yes.
And if I want something, I bear patience and I wait. I
And
don't borrow. I don't
sacrifice.
ask somebody for no $10 borrow. People will ask me, but I have made it. And that's one of the things that this taught me. Losing my house taught me how to be very patient, and it taught me how to use only cash.
Yes.
And the truth is, I have a lot of peace.
Yeah. When you do that.
Oh yes, I have
You can
peace.
sleep at night.
Hey,
You have no
people
worry.
usually ask me, why is it that you don't worry? And I suppose why I look so young.
Yes. I agree.
But the truth is, I have learned from that experience.
Yes, right.
You don't need, and then that is not me saying that you can't take out a mortgage at all.
Yes,
at all. Of
I
course
was
not.
about to say that.
I'm not
Yes,
saying that.
yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to. That's not the point. I am saying, however, there are lots of things that we can cut back on.
Yes. Yes.
If you can do well with your mortgage thing and it works for you, this is not me saying you. I'm just
shouldn't do it,
sharing
yes.
personally how it has affected me.
Yeah.
And some are saying that to say, to encourage you that there may have been some financial undertakings that you may have undertaken, some things that may have happened, and you kind of feel like you regret and you
Yes,
vex and whatnot.
yeah.
But what you have to do now is, what could I have learned
From the
from that
experience,
circumstance
yeah.
that will cause me to not do the same
Yeah.
thing over and over and expect a different result,
Yeah.
and then you get to be called a lunatic.
That's it.
Your closing words, can you imagine we're out of time?
Well, again, I want to thank Ms. Rufin and her team for inviting me here. I trust that the information you would have received today would have helped you in some way, or you would have learned something. And when we learn, we are obligated to share.
Oh, yes.
I learned, so here I am, I'm sharing. So, and when you share, again, that comes back to you. You know, it gives you a sense of peace. It gives you a sense of belonging when you start to share. But what I want to encourage the audience is to, when you learn, don't just learn and write it and leave it there together.
Oh, yes.
Because we have that tendency. We have the information, then what?
Then what?
Take the action. Do what is necessary to make the change.
Yeah.
Right? And that is my cry to everybody.
Yeah. Make the change.
Make the change.
Make the change. All right, Hilary, I don't want to make no big goodbye because we're coming back again, because we definitely have to go into all that we couldn't go into. So thank you very much for coming. It really was a pleasure.
Yes.
It is a pleasure to have you, and I'm just glad to see, you know, when you have individuals in the community that supporting the community already come to support even more of the community. We know how that helps. Thank you so much for coming. For those of you who have stayed with us, you can be guaranteed we are going to come most likely next month, God's will. We are going to come and do a part 2 and a part 3 and whatever number of parts we have to until we think that we have maybe not exhausted. You can never exhaust the topic of money, but at least until we've shared sufficient information. So until we do that, I would see you next week, God's will, with another guest. Thank you so much for staying with us. Have yourself a really productive rest of your day and a very safe weekend. God bless you and goodbye.